pretty soon, so be fucking badass.
Yep.
So, all right. So we got a little thing on BBC. Something that was actually kind of interesting to hear is how I divorced the Islamic State. How do you divorce the Islamic State? You're not dead, so apparently they didn't kill you. And if you got away, you gotta be lying. Just saying.
My name is Tanya Georgeless. For a decade, I was an Islamic extremist. My ex-husband became a leading member of the Islamic State, and now I'm hoping to counter his ideology.
In the late 1990s, Tanya went to high school here in Harrow. It's a middle-class, diverse London suburb. I grew up here myself and went to school just 3 miles down the road. I didn't know her at the time, but know many people who did. They've all described her as a pretty normal teenager. They say that she sometimes had boyfriends and played truant from school. She wasn't known to be especially religious or even politically engaged. So when did it all change?
I turned to religion in my life when I was 17. I just wanted to change my identity. I didn't want to be Tanya from Harrow anymore. I wanted to be Salman Pius, someone that people didn't call a tart. So it gave me structure in my life that I needed, and it helped me feel like I belonged somewhere, like a family or a community that embraced me, as long as I complied to what they were comfortable with Islamically.
In her late teens and early 20s, Tanya mixed with various radical groups in London. They changed the way she looked at the world.
Our minds were just being filled with these images, terrible, disturbing images. They would give examples of what happened in Srebrenica and Bosnia. We were made to feel this shared sense of guilt because we're a community, and it was our duty to do something, and that something was jihad. I looked up to Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, anyone that was trying to protect Muslims, protect the honor of the Muslims. What made me particularly depressed about 7/7 was that Shahara Islam was on the bus, and she had been a classmate of mine in my law class. I just thought it was very unfair for somebody to lose their life that young. If an innocent Muslim dies and an innocent non-Muslim dies, that's how we justified it. It's wrong, but that was the way of thinking back then.
By the time of 7/7, she was married to John Georgellas. He was an American convert she had met online.
He was clearly intelligent. He was charming. He was my first love, and we were best friends. My way of contributing was raising sons that would grow up to be in the Mujahideen army or scholars and academics. I wanted them to contribute to the cause.
They moved to the United States and had children. After the Arab uprisings in 2011, the family moved to Egypt. John thought it was an ideal place to raise their sons as jihadists, but Tanya was starting to have doubts.
One day, for some reason, one of my sons came home with a grenade to show me. I don't think it was a working grenade, but I lost my temper and pulled out my kitchen knife at John. I was like, don't you ever do this again. I don't want my sons near these things. I don't want them near the guns. The buildings I stayed in, they were abandoned homes by ex-military. The windows had been blown out, and every single night I had become accustomed to hearing gunfire. It was hard. I mean, my marriage was breaking down, which was like my life at the time, and I didn't know what to do.
Take a break. It's just reading said. It's just like after 3 weeks, they had their children in Syria.
There were bullets, like snipers, on these towers shooting, and we could see the bullets flying everywhere. And so, I remember putting my kids through the barbed wire, and the Syrian refugees, they were just guys. They were helping us as much as they could. And then I put the stroller in, and then John passed me another baby. It was so scary.
John, remember later, Joy.
last thing he told me, the last message was that he apologizes for the wrong that he's done to me and the children, that he prays that we'll be Muslims, and that if I don't hear from him in 6 months, it's most likely because he's dead, because he has to fight, because the fight is drawing closer to where he lives. It was a relief to come back and not have to practice Islam, and it was a nice break, and it gave me the opportunity to just read other things, like other than just focusing on one subject in one area, just Islam. I got to focus on now all different religions. I had the freedom to think. That's what America gave me, without fear.
All right, so this lady right here, she, like she said in here, she was, married to a man that was a high power of the Islamic State, and over a course of time, of course you can tell she's not from, the Middle East. She's more or less, a little bit British, something like that, but, she learned. So, I mean, how she got out without a scratch, I know there's a guy, she talked about a guy named John helping her get out and stuff like that, but for her to be married to a higher ranking ISIS member and to be able to get away and do something like this, I'm sorry, I kind of find highly unlikely. For the simple fact that, I don't think the Islamic State can turn a big fight on our communities, but I do think that if they wanted to get to certain people, they could. It's just there's too many of them here that are just kind of locally blended in, and I'm sure this lady right here, even if it is true and she is fine right now, she's got to have some type of second way of thinking of like, oh shit, I gotta watch my back 24/7 now. Because it's just don't get too comfortable.
She still want to be called a tart. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's shit. I'm just saying, man. Fuck. But so we talked a little bit to Soldier Hard this weekend too. Trying to get him up on the show, but he's down in the Philippines helping out and shit like that. So down in Cuba and whatnot. It's pretty cool guy. Known Jeff for a little bit. We used to be in a couple of groups together and shit like that, helping out vets and shit. So real cool dude. And hopefully we'll be back in touch with Christopher Titus this week. When we get that shit set up. That'll be fucking epic. Alright, so there's your little Ron. I will do this just for you there, brother. Ron was asking about a little certain something, and gotta give it to him. Here you go, Ron. Alright. Been a while since y'all fuckers heard that. Here's a little bit of Today in History for Mr. Ron C. 43 Ace BC. Anthony and Lepidus from Rome. It just says Anthony from something of Rome. That's kind of odd. Why the fuck would you even put it up there? It really doesn't give you anything. Alright, 1095 BC, Clermont, France. Pope Urbana II makes the appeal for warriors to relieve Jerusalem. Alright, he is responding to false rumors and whatnot in the Holy Land. Okay. 1862, George Armstrong Custer meets his future bride, Elizabeth Bacon, at a Thanksgiving party. Nice. You meet a woman with a last name of Bacon at a Thanksgiving party. Lieutenant Colonel George A. Custer, the 7th Cavalry, kills Chief Black Kettle about 100 Shawnee, mostly women and children, sorry bastard, at the Washita River. Not a fucking dick. 1909, U.S. troops land in Bluefields, Nicaragua, Nicaragua, to protect American interests there. Sorry, can't talk this morning. 1950, the East chooses a river. Chinese forces must annihilate an American task force. Great. 1970, Syria joins the PAC, liking Libya, Egypt, and Sudan. Yeah, I guess they decided to jump in the party. 1999, Helen Clark becomes the first elected female Prime Minister of New Zealand. 2004, Pope John Paul II returns relics of St. John to the Eastern Orthodox Church. 2006, the Canadian House Commons approved the motion to take Prime Minister Stephen Harper, recognizes as in nationwide within Canada. So there's your freaking today in history. I'm glad to see there wasn't a lot of shit about fucking people up today. That was kind of a plus. That's why I ain't read it in a while. I got tired of fucking reading about war shit. So, dude got a badass birthday today. Jimi Hendrix was born today. Back in 1942. So, happy birthday, Mr. Hendrix. Some of the best fucking reggae music you ever hear.
Oh shit! Did you hear Did you cover 1973 with Gerald Ford?
No, I didn't.
Was that listed on your thing?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, today in 1973, Gerald Ford was confirmed president after Nixon's fucking resignation.
Oh, nice. Oh, well, yeah. Congratulations, Mr. Ford, on a dumbass. Taking over.
Bill Nye, the science guy, was born today, too.
Oh, nice. Nice. Which one? Yeah, I have to get the address off yours. I didn't have that on mine. Britain. Oh, well, that was a year ago. Fuck that. All right, so 24 Democratic sex scandals that the left side liberal media is not reporting. Wonder why that is. I'm just going to go through the list here. Of course, you kind of get from the title what it's about. And just saying, 4 women accused Bill Clinton of sexual assault. And, oh, fuck. This was fucking 7 days ago. Nice. Former President Bill Clinton was accused of multiple incidents by 4 women. We already know about his lust for using the interns and holding his cigar. May have reunited with her dress in some bodily fluids. What's up with the other accusations? Wow. God almighty. She really must be having a bad time. She ain't giving it. Well, I mean, shit, he ain't never fucking really wanted his wife anyway. Of course, we all know why she's an ugly tramp. Congresswomen accuse Democrat former Congressman Bill Findler of sexual assaulting. California Democrat Roger Bosariga resigns leadership position and won't seek re-election over sexual allegations. New Mexico David Alcon was arrested for stalking.
God damn.
10 women accuse lawmaker Stephen Liebrox for sexual harassment in Colorado. Wow, guy.
This shit's just come out of the fucking woodwork.
I'm telling you, it's just within the last last week or so. Colorado Democrat Speaker Christina Duran accused of covering up sexual allegations against Democrat Stephen. Oh, wow. Minnesota Democrat lawmaker Dan Schoen resigns over sexual allegations. Another California Democrat, Tony Mendoza. Another one, Kevin De Leon. Wow. And then one from Philly. Oh, yeah, Philly AHR charged with, well, son of a bitch. Oh, damn, there's more. Oh, there's 24 of them. Shit. You just, the list keeps going on and on. New Mexico, Colorado, California, Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma, sorry, Ron, Oregon, Washington State, Connecticut,